everybody, and welcome back to ELEV8 Magazine Live. I am your host, Je Vaughn. We are in for an amazing time today because we're going to be talking sports. Sports, ladies and gentlemen. But what, Je Vaughn, this is the gospel situation. We're supposed to be talking about church. I brought on the host of Church Guys Like Sports, Pastor David Wright. How are you doing, Pastor?
I'm doing good, Je Vaughn. How you doing, man?
Listen, I'm not even going to pretend. The Bulls, they sucked.
Well, you've been in that for about 20 years, ever since Michael Jordan been gone. So that you used to that by now.
Actually, since Derrick Rose tore that knee against the Heat, we have been in purgatory. But I'm going to get to all the shenanigans of the Bulls and the new version of the Bulls on the East Coast in a second. But first of all, let people know and understand and appreciate who is Pastor David Wright.
Yes, my name is Pastor David Wright, and I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I am one of the sons of the late, great gospel singer, Reverend Timothy Wright. And I am a huge sports fanatic. I love my New York Knicks. I love my New York Jets. I love my New York Yankees, my Mets and Giants. And I am a huge sports fan. And I just want to let the world know that you can love God and still love sports. Loving God doesn't take the man out of you and doesn't make you not still want to enjoy sports. So that's me.
Now, you brought up your dad. Did the pastor Timothy Wright also believe in mixing or commingling the sports with the church and being able to be saved and still root on your Knicks?
Absolutely. Absolutely. My father started something in the mid-90s at our church, Super Bowl Sunday. And what he would do, we would have a Super Bowl party after service. You know, the Super Bowl is always on a Sunday, so we hurry up and get on out of church, shout, have a good time, and then sit in the back, everybody watching a football game. And it was amazing because some of the women stayed to watch the game too. It was just as into it as the fellas was. So it was a wonderful thing with my pop.
Was he a Giants fan or a Jets fan? Who did he go for?
Oh, he was a Giants fan. He was a Giants fan. He thought Lawrence Taylor was the next best thing since sliced bread.
Now, was it his love of sports that got you into loving sports as well?
Absolutely. My father, he was a great musician, a great gospel singer, but he was a huge Knicks fan. And we never really went to the games because of scheduling conflicts, preaching and singing all over the world. But we would always watch the games together, going back to the days of Bernard King and even a little later with Patrick Ewing and Charles Oakley and them fellas. And my father actually did a couple of, concerts in which Mark Jackson was the promoter. Mark Jackson's wife, Desiree Coleman, was one of my father's proteges. She took vocal lessons from him. So we did a lot of musical things. And when Mark Jackson put on a concert, all of the players would come. And that's how we got involved with some of the different players.
That sounds amazing to be able to, first of all, be part of gospel royalty and then be able to be in there with sports royalty. That had to be quite the existence growing up. Did you have a lot of pressure on yourself to be an athlete because of the situations and the circles that you were involved in?
Actually, no, because my father wasn't very athletic. He liked to watch it. But he wasn't very athletic. So me and my brothers, we were the athletes. So, I played a little bit of high school ball, played a little bit of college basketball at Nassau Community College. But my father needed me to play the organ. And he said, look, I know you like playing basketball, but this organ, I need you at the church. So I sacrificed all of that to, I think I could have been the next Michael Jordan. I might have been, but I sacrificed it for the sake of the organ. That's what.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Yes.
Now you have children, right?
Yes, I do.
What is or who is David Wright, the sports dad? Like, are you one of those that's out there yelling at the refs because he missed the call, or are you just laid back, whatever happens, happens?
I'm actually the one that's out there coaching the kids because the coach don't do the right thing. That's what because my daughter, she just got a scholarship to Penn State University playing basketball.
Nice.
And she's going into her sophomore season. And I try to tell the coach, I try to tell him in a nice way, but I do it during the game. You're not using her right. You got to put her where she can score. But I'm the one, and every now and then I'll slip the referee a little $1 or $2, put it in his pocket while he's running down the court. Just give him some coffee money, and
right.
just
keep him alert. Is what
just to keep them alert. Here's a little $1 or $2. Go get you a cup of coffee after the game.
I'm confused now, sports dad, Pastor Wright, because I heard Penn State, not Georgetown, not Syracuse. Why Penn State?
Yeah, I wanted my daughter to go to Syracuse. That was one of her choices, and also UConn, but she fell in love with Penn State. When she visited the campus, they had a parking spot with her name on it, and man. That was it. That was it. She fell in love, and I said, "Whatever you want, I'm not gonna force you to go to one of my schools that I like, but I'm gonna let you go where you want to go." And she chose Penn State, and I think she's gonna have a great college basketball career.
And I believe she's going to have a great college basketball career as well. But what I'm going to say is that I'm a little bit different of a sports dad because my son plays basketball, 14 years old. He's pretty good. He's going to go somewhere. He's going to go where I want him to go. I'm just trying to figure out how do I make that happen? He's 14 now. I've got 4 years to be able to make sure that I'm persuading him correctly. You couldn't get Syracuse to give that girl a parking space.
No, man. Syracuse dropped the ball. They kind of like, oh, we're interested, but you're just one of the many. And Penn State made her feel like she was the one.
Well, that's good. Well, we're definitely hoping for great success with that. So you were an athlete, you're a sports dad, a pastor, phenomenal musician. Why are you into my world? Why are you podcast hosting? This is my domain. I'm supposed to be ruling the kingdom of the pod. What made you decide that even though I preach the gospel into people's lives on Saturdays and Sundays and sometimes on Thursdays, I'm going to give the people more of my voice and go into podcast hosting? Why?
I did it like this because I couldn't really do this from behind the pulpit. I couldn't really do this like I wanted to, on a Sunday morning. So what I said, and a lot of people saying, well, just go on Facebook Live, Instagram, do a podcast. You'll be surprised how many people will love it. I say, ain't that many people really into sports from the church? And I did it, and it blew my mind. It really blew my mind. So it's been going great. I'm learning the new podcast arenas and learning what you can and cannot say before people start tuning you out.
Well, you've been doing a great job with your show, and it's an honor and a pleasure to have a great podcast host, a great man of God on the show. You mentioned your dad loving the New York Giants. The Giants. He was a Giants fan. Was he also a fan by chance of that team over in Indianapolis?
Not the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, them boys.
Oh, never.
Never root for no Indianapolis Colts.
Oh no. We don't do the Colts.
We don't do the Colts. That sounds good. So what we decided to do was invite a coat on. So
Lord.
McCoy, how you doing, Pastor?
I don't understand why you don't like the Colts, man, because we turned that program around once I joined the team, man. And us Florida boys down here, we like to think we the real thing now. Well, Pastor Tony McCoy, I'm a Florida boy, born and raised here, born in Orlando, Florida. Went to 5A high school, Evans Trojans. All we do is win down here. So in high school, we won our Metro championship. I was fortunate enough to go to the best college in the country. David, can you hand me my helmet up here? The best college in the country. And just in case y'all did not know this, it's not Penn State, it's not Syracuse, it's the Gators, baby.
Florida Gators.
Florida Gators. This is where men are born at, right here. So God bless me, and I was fortunate enough to go there to University of Florida from 87 to 91. God blessed us that up underneath Coach Spurrier, we won our first SEC champion of the school's history. Later went on to win the national championship. Just a blessing for me to be there with them. And, I'm in the Gator Greats there at Florida, and was drafted in the 4th round by the Colts back in 91. And God blessed me with a 10-year NFL career, 8 years with Indianapolis Colts, and 2 years with Arizona Cardinals. I met my wife of now 27 plus years while I was in Indianapolis, and we have 3 kids. We have a daughter, Christina. She's now married and made us a grandpa and grandmom, and she did 9 years in the Air Force, served our country there. Our youngest son, our oldest son, actually, TJ, is a graduate of the Gators again, and he's went on and got his master's at Louisville, Kentucky, and he's waiting for a call now from the NFL. And our youngest son, Isaiah McCoy, so he's in college and trying to find himself, as these young people say.
Now, there's this new playoff structure, this new play-in situation where 8 plays, 7 plays 8, 9 plays 10. The winner of 7 and 8 keeps going. The winner of 9 and 10 gets to play the winner of 7 and 8. And then it's a whole bunch of stuff. Let me start with you, Pastor David Wright. What do you think of the new playoff structure in the NBA?
I absolutely love it because it gives us a feel like the Final Four, like college basketball, March Madness. And you got one game to really go out there and show it. And I'm telling y'all, in this play-in, Steph Curry, that's a dangerous light-skinned man. He's the most dangerous light-skinned man on the planet. And I would not want to play him in no one-game runoff because he can just go off for 50 points, and you can't stop him.
I'm like Pastor Wright. I'm a fan of it. I agree with it. I think it reminds me a lot of the NFL. When we're in the playoffs, if you lose a game, you go home. So if you win the game, you have the opportunity to keep on winning. So I kind of like the structure, and I think it's going to be an exciting season.
First games are going to be Hornets and Pacers, and then Wizards and Celtics. Let's start with Hornets and Pacers. For the Hornets and Pacers, who you got?
I absolutely have the Hornets. And I know Pastor McCoy, he got some loyalty out there in Indiana, but them Hornets, they got this fella, LaMelo Ball, and his boy is Ball. Michael Jordan finally got this team in the playoffs, and they're going to do well. They're going to do well.
I would have to tell you no. Not a fan of the Hornets. Only reason I'm a fan of the Hornets is Michael Jordan has a little bit part to do with the Hornets. But out of loyalty to all of my Indianapolis Colts fans and my Pacers fans, Reggie Miller and I good close, and his sister, a couple of times. I just got to go on history alone. That he shows up and sit courtside, that we're going to win the game. So I'm going with the Pacers, please.
Apparently, he's going with loyalty of the friends that he has instead of basketball skills. Pastor Wright, does that sound the way to do it?
It's not the fastest or the swiftest, but he that endures to the end. It's loyalty. That's all of this. This is all I have, loyalty.
You can't mention Reggie Miller to a Knicks fan. Oh God! I just had a nightmare. I just had a vision. Oh Lord Jesus, help me!
Great battles, Pastor. Those are some great battles. It was really good.
They were.
I believe that Pastor Wright would say that Reggie Miller ain't playing on Tuesday, though. So
Sure ain't.
how are these Hornets not going to beat these Pacers? I'm going to ask you again, Pastor McCoy. Besides Reggie Miller being in the stands, give me a reason why the Pacers can beat the Hornets.
My wife said, by faith, we're going to win. Hey, I'm going to tell you like this. I love basketball. They call me Baby Shaq when I'm on the field, on the court. Because I just push you back there and get that little layup, and you can't stop all this weight from pushing you down in the center court. But when they get to the playoffs, and I think this new playoff structure that we just talked about, it's really going to give us the opportunity to see the essence of the sport really bring the best out of people. So, but that first game, I still have to go with my Pacers because every once in a while they have me down for an interview or Celebrity Day in Indianapolis, and I will not be able to go to Indianapolis if I pick the Wizards over the Pacers. So that's all I'm saying. The Pacers are going to win.
That's right. Smart. That's very smart. Very smart, Pastor.
So, Pastor Wright, are you saying, it sounded like Pastor McCoy was saying that God is favoring the Pacers. So now that you understand that God's got the Pacers back, are you willing to change your answer? Are you more leaning towards the Pacers instead of the Hornets now?
Not one bit.
Game though. It's the second game, and them boys, them Wizards, got a superstar on their team. He's a little bit better than great. He might be a little bit better than awesome. And they're going against the Celtics. Now the Celtics, they've got some players on their team too, you know. So I'm going to start with Pastor Tony. Pastor Tony, Wizards and Celtics. Who you got?
I'm going with the Celtics. I'm picking the Celtics to win the game. I think that the talent there is above the Wizards, and again, I'm going on history. You know, the Celtics is a good program, and you've seen them improve every year. I'm one of these guys that I don't know all the names of the players. My son, when they have to kind of navigate me through the names of the basketball. But I love to watch the young guys, and they seem to get better every year. So I'm going with the Celtics.
All right. So Pastor McCoy, he's got his Celtics. Pastor Wright, do you believe that Russell Westbrook can bring them boys against the Celtics, or are you going to be on the side with Pastor McCoy?
The Washington Wizards are going to blow the Celtics out the water. Because let me tell you, Jaylen Brown is hurt, so he's not playing. Kemba Walker is in a slump. And this Russell Westbrook fella, you know, to average a triple-double for the fourth year. Oscar Robinson's claim to fame is he averaged a triple-double one season. Russell Westbrook has done it 4 times. He's dangerous. He is dangerous. And when he's one of the most competitive basketball players that we have in the league right now. And when his back is up against the wall, he's going to come out there firing. And he still got Bradley Beal, who finished second in the league in scoring. So I think it's unfair that the Celtics even have to play them in this thing.
But I'm still going on history and loyalty, and I'm going with my Celtics so to win the game. 15 out of 20 they was practicing last year, and now we're getting ready to go and do it right.
Sounds like it good. And we've got our predictions in now for Tuesday. We've got one saying the Pacers, one saying the Hornets. We've got one saying the Wizards, one saying the Celtics. The ball goes up this evening. This is Tuesday, so tonight the ball goes up. So make sure you guys watch, and then we'll have to come back and see which one, who knows they sports is what we're going to say. So before we go, Pastor McCoy, I want to thank you one more time for coming on and helping us do our predictions today. Good luck with your Pacers. Good luck with your Celtics. But I think you're going to be off a little bit.
Hey, listen, Je Vaughn, I'm believing that we're going to see some upsets. The Pacers are going to hold up the reputation of the Indianapolis the city, and also I'm believing that we're going to see some great things in that second game as well. And Pastor Wright is going to be calling me down here in Florida and saying, Pastor, man, I don't know how you got that insight, brother. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys having me on the show. Next time we're going to have to talk a little football, and then I'll be up to speed.
Let's talk ball.
Pastor David Wright, your Knicks, they almost lost to the B-rated team on Sunday. The Celtics were bad, and they still almost lost to the Celtics. Did they lose any of your confidence from Sunday's game?
Not at all, because that was a Sunday afternoon game, and the Knicks, they were focused on Sunday morning service. They were thinking about the church, so they couldn't really focus like that. So half of their mind was at Grace Tabernacle, and the other half was at the Garden, and we still pulled it off.
Yeah, they did still pull it off, but I'm curious. It's 7 terrible seasons, and now all of a sudden they're there. Is it too soon? I mean, they're 1 year away from the lottery. Are we saying that this might be just too soon for them? They need to let this be a learning year, and then maybe come back next year and do this whole playoff situation. Is it too early for them, Pastor?
Well, this was definitely supposed to be a rebuilding year. We are not supposed to be here.
Mm-mm.
And usually when a team is not supposed to be there, they don't have any pressure on them.
Right.
So, the Brooklyn Nets, they got pressure. Lakers, they got pressure. The Knicks, we playing with house money. So we going in there with nothing to lose. And that's the most dangerous team you want to play. A team that has nothing to lose. And we here. Yeah.
And there's going to be 5,700 of their screaming fans in Madison Square Garden for the home game as well. Do you think that home that home confidence with the home fans being there screaming, rooting for their Knicks, will that have an impact on the game?
Absolutely. Because I've been to several Knicks games, and there's nothing like that atmosphere. Madison Square Garden is anointed. There's an anointed in there. And about 3 years ago, I was there, and I anointed the court with holy oil. I said, God gonna turn this thing around. And when those fans get to screaming, it's like the only problem, if you're a superstar, that crowd can urge you up as well. We've seen it happen with Jordan, Reggie Miller, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. So we gotta just hope that our superstar, Julius Randle, overshadows their superstars.
And the Atlanta Hawks, who the Knicks will be facing, do have some superstars, including a young man, Trae Young. They call him Trae because the boy can just breathe three-pointers. He just puts them in the atmosphere. He cornered his game around Steph Curry. So right. He's just a shooting machine. They're young, they're deep, they're hungry. Any fear at all coming from the Heat? I mean, coming from the Atlanta Hawks to the Knicks? No fear.
No fear. We're gonna beat them in 5 games, and because them light-skinned boys don't like to be hit. And Trae Young, he gonna get beat up. He gonna all that dancing around and shooting all around. He's gonna get beat up. He's gonna get knocked on the floor and all these different things. And he ain't gonna be. It ain't gonna be like he think. Trae Young, you gonna get beat up. He ain't but 175 pounds. Come on in there if you like.
But Clint Capella is a grown, dark-skinned man.
He is. He is.
He on this.
Yeah. And he's dangerous. He's a rebounding machine. He's a shot blocking machine. But we got somebody for him. We got Nerlens Noel, right, sitting right there waiting for him. We got Taj Gibson. Taj Gibson about 55 years old. Yes, he can still play. And he has to show up because he's a New Yorker. He's from Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. So his family gonna be out there. You ain't gonna embarrass me in front of my family.
And hopefully the Knicks decide to come to your church on Sunday so they can get the right prayer, the right motivation going into the game. Well, no, what is it? The first game is on Sunday, right? It's Saturday or Sunday?
The first game, I believe, is Saturday or Sunday.
So they'll have a special Saturday service at the Tabernacle, and then they can go out there and ball. Pastor Wright, I appreciate you coming on the show today. If you can please let the people know where they can find you and where they can find your podcast.
Yes, you can find Church Guys Like Sports too on Facebook Live. We on there every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 noon. And they were also on Instagram as well. And we have our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and you can catch every episode from the last 3 years. Church Guys Like Sports too. Pastor David Wright. It's been a pleasure being on here with you.
Been a pleasure with you being on the show. Congratulations on your recent anniversary as well. If I'm correct, you had a recent anniversary?
Yes, so 12. I've been pastoring 12 years now. 12
years. And hopefully this is the year where you get to celebrate that 12th anniversary and then celebrate a championship going on to the Bulls of the East. Congratulations, Derrick Rose. Congratulations, Taj Gibson. Congratulations, Coach Thibodeau. Wish y'all were still here. On behalf of everybody at ELEV8 Magazine, Dr. Naisha Thompson, our great producer, Mr. Holmes, T.L. Holmes, thank you guys for checking out the show today. God bless you.